even though everybody already got the hint that we prefer the Fleet Interceptor for this role here, I just wanted to go quickly into why we are arriving at this conclusion, actually to talk about the strengths, because if you know about the strengths and not just, okay, I should take an Interceptor, then you get to use your strength better as well. I think what is important for the role that for now, that you know, okay, we want to use an Interceptor, but what are the things that the ship that can do those roles that it should be capable of? What should be its strength? Just accept that, I will ask you. Cater.
It should be agile.
Yeah.
It should be fast.
Yeah.
And should have bonuses to the things like point range.
Why?
Because you want to be as far away from whatever it is that you're pointing as possible.
Could be, okay, but yeah, generally it's correct, of course, I'm just going on there. Marvin, just one thing? I know Cato got more, but just go on.
I think he mentioned the ones I was initially thinking about. I think survivability is also a fairly large one.
Yeah, definitely. Fitch?
Yep, Marvin's just got what I was going to say.
Angelo, anything to add?
No, I did a minus sec because I was thinking about the same, you know, the high speed, being capable of resisting until whole 5 minutes, you know.
Okay.
I want to see that, to be honest. I found it kind of hard to do.
So it's small and that it stays small even with a microwarp drive attached to it.
Yeah, but there's probably the survivability, but yeah, it's just one more aspect of how to look at it. Loki?
You're looking at warp speed. You want a ship that could leave the warp at the gate the same time as another ship and arrive there before it does.
Usually actually less of an impact than it reads like on paper, but it still doesn't hurt to be fast on that part. Action?
My point recovered.
Okay, well basically you covered everything, and obviously what we didn't talk about here was any kind of like damage dealing, because all the roles that Itko described there before, nothing of them really involved killing shit, right? So basically we're looking at all those things: agility, speed, survivability, being fast, even having that third engagement range there. There's not too many ships that would cover it. Definitely it's obvious that it would be a frigate, right?
I thought of one.
Yeah, please.
Fairly fast lock.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. The thing is, basically the only ships that cover, or well, the ships that cover those things best are obviously Fleet Interceptors. Some people, well, you can do parts of that role with other ships as well. I mean, you could do it even with a T1 frigate, you just have to make some concessions there in regards to your survivability. Dramiels are definitely moving. What's the disadvantage of the Dramiel over on Fleet Interceptor, Loki? Any idea?
I don't know, I just know the Dramiel is damn fast.
Okay, actually the RAM doesn't get the reduction of the penalty to microwarpdrive signature bloom, so it gets hit way easier. If you try over 20 km with an Interceptor or in a Dramiel, you will definitely see the difference. Basically the bonus of the Fleet Interceptor, if somebody could just link a random Fleet Interceptor, please. And while somebody's posting that, Ingelo, yeah, please ask.
So the Dramiel is faster, even using microwarpdrive, it gets the penalty, right? What about the propulsion jamming mods? Do they work the same as an Interceptor in a Dramiel or worse?
But they don't get the bonus, and this is another reason, but the main problem is really the survivability of the Dramiel. It's a bit faster than a Stiletto, than a Fleet Interceptor nowadays, still. As you will see there, the sig tanking effect of the microwarpdrive there is pretty substantial, and the Dramiel will get a signature radius of a good cruiser, while you will stay well, like probably a bit larger than an afterburning destroyer or something, which will result in you being way more survivable. Now, if you look at the Interceptors link there, Raptor, Malediction, whatever, checking the bonuses, you can see there is 2 bonuses basically. For now, just ignore the part that goes for everything like combat, but the interesting stuff is the 2 on the bottom. Basically, the 15% reduction in microwarpdrive signature radius penalty. This is huge, 60% penalty reduction already with level 4. Gets even better to 70, but it's still great. And of course, the 5% bonus to warp point, or sounds like just 5%, sure, but 20 to 25% are quite substantial. On a T2 point, that's already 4.8 or even 6 kilometer bonus, which can be quite a bit we will see during the practical. Both of those things you don't get it from a Dramiel, so the Dramiel will be pretty fast. It can lock at almost the same time, but it will get killed quicker if the thing actually can reach out to the Dramiel. But that's basically the problem. Now, some people say, why can't you use the Combat Interceptors? Anybody got idea to that one? Why are the so-called Combat Interceptors not that great for that part? That would be the Tyrannus, the Claw, the Crow.
Well, you don't have bonuses for your point, so you would not be able to target a ship as far as your limited point would go.
Yeah, and they generally get the range of the bonus they injected. Usually they also have fewer slots to fit in a way that you can... Actually, they will usually end up being slower than your Fleet Interceptor if you want to tank them. That's basically it, and they don't have an advantage for that role. I mean, yeah, they deal more damage, but we mentioned already it doesn't come up there in how we want to do our job, right? So this is an advantage that is not relevant for us. At Inglo, yeah, you could kill Intis with that one, for example. If I'm on field in Fleet Interceptor and there's a Dramiel, I can definitely see to get my ass out of here. Are there any questions in regards to why we actually arrive at the conclusion that the Fleet Intis are the ones we should use here?
The modulate and the bonuses together make it the best fit for the job.
Yeah, just ask if there's any questions. Or I mean, basically, if you want to do this kind of job, I would definitely recommend go with a Fleet Inti, not with a Combat Inti. A Combat Inti with a point that tries to do the same thing is usually just a why didn't you use a Fleet Interceptor instead? There's only very few occasions where I could see why you would do it this way. Yeah, Inglo, speak up, please.
Okay, as for the Interceptors, which of the four you think is better for the role? I mean, what do you look for in a particular situation? I read about the Stiletto having an extra middle. It's like a great point in favor.
I mean, there's a bit of the exact prioritization is always a bit of a preference thingy. Personally, I would go with Stiletto and Ares are the top two. Then it's Malediction, then it's Craptor. Sorry. Basically, Stiletto and Ares they're sharing a bit the part about has got best tank, what's the fastest. The Ares has the one with the best tank, and it's the fastest. The Stiletto has the advantage of either the force midslot or rather some more tank you can put on there, but it's not as fast. It comes after it. Malediction is coming close to them in my opinion because it's still fast and it can have a substantial tank, and well, the Raptor is just the slowest of all of them. It doesn't have any advantages over the other. It's just, well, you can always go into whatever, but basically, if you can do the job, you can do it in all races, Interceptors really. It's just I mean, on rare occasions, those 10% of performance difference will make the difference, but usually it's either you can do the job or you can't, and then, well, any ship will do or none of them.